So while people are coming in, hi, I'm Cheryl B. Engelhardt. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna switch to this mic while people are coming in so I can see you. Who here has known me for a long time, been around the block with me, been in this, maybe in this room? Thank you for being on this journey. I'm really excited to be here sharing this news with you. Who here has been nominated for a Grammy in the past? Let's see, like stand up, let's see you. Can we see you? Can we get a little more light in here? It's very dark. I want a little. Can we do that? So who are my past nominees? I know there's so many of you. Yes, Lili, I see you. LiliHaydn, we're gonna actually get to hear from her. And a winner, past winner. Yes. There we go, that's perfect, now I can see people. Who else? Who's a past? I know I've got a pen. Yes. Lucy, also a winner. Lucy, oh my gosh. I know there's more out here. Who's a current nominee? We've got a bunch of them in the room. Kit, baby. Sunny, oh my gosh. We've got, I can't see. Oh my gosh, there you are. You're gonna have to pronounce your last name for me. Neve Trio from Boston. Wow. Here from Boston, y'all. And me. And who here is a future nominee? Okay, so that's a thing. A couple years ago, someone said I was at a party, and I think most of the people were nominees, current nominees, or past nominees, and they're like, oh, are you a current nominee? I said, no. And they're like, oh, are you a past nominee? And I just said, no, I'm a future nominee. Just like fact. And then I stepped into that. So that's a thing. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a short set because I want you all to keep eating and drinking. There's a passenger's drink special. It's Prosecco with a little Saint Germain. It's just my favorite drink. And there will be tarot card readers upstairs after the set, as well as cupcakes, because who doesn't love a good cupcake, really? Let's see, the stuff on the tables, every table has a different setting. They're all things I brought on the train with me. For those of you who don't know, I produced and composed this album that is nominated for Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album for Grammy on a train across the country. And all the stuff on the tables are things I brought with me, and they all have a story. Please don't take my stuff. But take a cupcake later, okay? So, today we're gonna have people that played on the album and musicians playing just 6 songs, y'all, just 6 songs. Not all from the album too, because I gotta do a little retrospective. And I'm gonna figure out how stand-up comedians switch from one mic to another, because I don't need this one anymore. Okay. This is how they do it. We're just gonna put it back here. And then switch to this one. Look at the sound, sounding the same. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the cutting room, because I called them like 2.5 weeks ago, like, hi, I want a party. Can you do that in 2 weeks during holiday season? And they said yes, so that's cool. All right, so I'm going to start this story with something, it was called Angelbeat. Oh God. I wasn't done with my stand-up mic. So, when I was 16, I was in this madrigal group. I've been playing the piano since I was really little, and then I got really into vocal music. And I was in the madrigal group, and my director was this amazing woman and just really, really influenced the direction of my music career. And she passed away from cancer in my junior year of high school, which was very sad. And her favorite 3 notes for any of the madrigals that we sang, which were like little like, sort of like a cappella things, were these 3 notes. There's starting pitches for one of our favorite songs, and she just loved those 3 notes. So after she passed away, I wrote this little, this is my 16-year-old self. Figure out what to do next. And for those of you who are not listening to do chord progressions or anything. That's a different key than when we started. And it kind of really worked for me because sometimes you think you're on a path in life and then you end up somewhere else. And I had that little 40-second motif for like years. And then I went to college and I started learning about music technology and I was like, cool, I'm gonna use this little motif to try out Reason 2.0 with my digital performer interfaces and that. So this is one of the first like things I produced, and you can hear the drama. It's a really good snapshot of me at 21, and it's 40 seconds also, and it's called Angelbeat. And I mean, it's got I came in with the drums and everything. So I'm gonna play this for you because this is all gonna connect to why we're here today. So I'm just gonna play this number one thing. This is called Angelbeat, and it's hidden from the internet, but it is on some tracks of my very first album, way in the back. If you let it play for another 10 minutes, hidden tracks. Here it comes. Too. Of course, we had to end it like that. So, thank you. People are like, what was that? So that got me actually a lot of jobs as a composer, which was weird because I was just futzing around in my college dorm room with that. But that's as far as that piece that came from this very heart-centered place. That's as far as it went. Until 22 years later. And I'm going to play, and I'm going to talk over it. I'm going to play what is now called Angel's Lullaby, the Angel's Lullaby, that is on this record, The Passenger. And I'm going to tell you, while it's playing, the story of how we got here. So we can turn it down a little bit. So, a little bit more. Or maybe it's just my monitor, I don't know. So the reason I got on a train on January 22nd was last year I was looking to go to the Grammys because I'm a voting member, and I'm like, I like to attend the Grammys, but the flights were so expensive. I was like, what if I take a train? And then I was like, what if I took a train from New York to the Grammys? That could be to LA. And at the time I was going to take my very best friend and collaborator, we wrote a musical together, Kevin Archambault. One of y'all has a picture of him on your table. And he couldn't come because he got stage 4 cancer, and he passed away January 10th. Also January 10th, we found out that the Grammys, because of the COVID peak, got moved to April. So I had all these reasons to not get on this train. 2 weeks later, January 22nd, and I decided, I'm gonna get on the train. And I got on the train, and immediately all of this music came out. And it's funny because after, I had 18 notes after my teacher in junior high or high school passed away. My father passed away 10 years ago. Everyone was like, you're gonna write so much music for him. I tried, it just never came out. For some reason, on this train with my little keyboard, someone has my keyboard on the table. That's the keyboard I composed on. Yeah, you can lift it up if you want. It's very small, very light. Yeah, that is what I composed this whole record on. 32 little teeny keys. For some reason, it came out. I had 3 pieces done by the time I got to Chicago, which was 19 hours in, and I was also very nauseous. It took me 26 hours to get my train legs. So I had about 11 tracks, only 9 made it to the album by the time I got to Los Angeles, and on the way back I was like, something's missing. So I was like, let me pull this little thing out that has sort of showed up over the years in a variety of ways. And it became this track. And I gave it space, and the whole word, The Passenger, was my word of the year, to really let go of control, stop forcing outcomes, and start to actually let things come to me, be masterful at trusting the universe, trusting other people, trusting myself. Dallas String Quartet enters on the recording. Don't worry, you'll hear from them on stage in a second. So I decided to give this piece some space and see if it was the right version of it, or the one that I was supposed to be leading towards. And there's nothing wrong with that Reason 2.0 version 22 years ago. And I debated, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna judge my production, I literally made it loops on, oh my God, it's a room full of Grammy winners, like what am I, that was 22 years ago. It's a snapshot. And it got me to this version, and I'm really grateful. So that's the story of The Passenger and The Angel's Lullaby. Look at that timing. Another 22 years to master the mic, please. I would love to invite to the stage LiliHaydn, everybody. LiliHaydn is a composer, film composer, violinist, and vocalist. She has been nominated twice for Grammy, won once with her band Opium Moon in the New Age category. And when she heard about Kevin's passing, she called me, this beautiful condolence call, and said, you know what, now you have this beautiful bridge as in a connection to the other realm. And I jotted down that phrase. There's something about it that I just loved. And when I'm doing ambient music or new age music where there's no vocals and there's no lyrics, I always really struggle with what to name the songs. And so I had a whole bunch of notes and feelings and things I had seen, and this popped up, and I was like, and it's also an ABA form, so it's kind of like there's a bridge in the middle for the musical people. So it just made so much sense to say, hey, I wrote this piece, that phrase was in my mind when I wrote it, would you be willing to play on this? So she did, and it's the first track on the album. It's on the Spotify official Grammy playlist, which is just freaking badass because they never put New Age on that playlist. And we're going to do like a live version of it, so it's a little different than the record, but you're going to hear the track, and people are coming from all over to be on the stage tonight. I'm so grateful. We're winging it, but we're also just kind of feeling it out, like trusting the music.
Yeah!
Do you need anything?
Just an A drum, and also we wrote it together.
We totally wrote this together. I did the Am track, and then she did the magic of the violin and the vocals on top of it. So, absolutely. That's why it says your name on Spotify. which is technically half of Dallas String Quartets, because they're very, very busy in this holiday season. So we have Jan and Melissa, and joining them is our New York staple cellist, Keith Dillingham. Keith Dillingham, by the way, she's a cellist, recording artist, and active proponent of the music of living composers, which, as one of those, I'm grateful. She's a voting member of the Recording Academy and serves as president of the Violoncello Society of New York. So she's like the president of cellos in New York. Come on. And she founded MyBlueSkiesMusic.com. There we go. Dallas String Quartet is, they call themselves When Bach Meets Bon Jovi. They play all the famous people weddings and all of the big parties in the world. And they just got their first Billboard chart, #2 on 2 different Billboard charts, classical and classical crossover for their new album, which is called, I have 4 copies of it. What is it called? Love Always. I bought 4 copies, I hope. And I did bring tarot cards on the train with me, and more often than I was comfortable with, I kept pulling the Chariot card, which made a lot of sense considering where I was. So when it came down to naming one of these pieces, this felt very appropriate. So this is the Chariots. This is our live version of the Chariot. We made a recording of this. It's going to come out next year, and here we go. also worried. Nobody worry. There's no worrying here. Now I would love, we're going to do one more song from The Passenger, and I need to invite up SherryFinzer to join me on bass flute. Bass flute. Y'all, this is a treat. If you have ever been to a spa, you have heard Sherry's music. You have. It's that simple. She is a staple in the New Age community. She is a staple in this music, and I am just so honored that she decided to play on this with me. So I sent her a track, and she sent me back 2 tracks. She sent me an alto flute and a bass flute, and she's like, pick whichever one feels most greatest for you. And I'm like, they both feel great. I want them both. That's the thing for me. And I decided to edit them, weave them in. And as I was doing that, I saw so many birds on this whole trip, like hawks and eagles and like little guys and all sorts of things. But as I was literally working on this, there was like a feather. I think maybe we were stopped or something, and I was like, oh, 2 feathers sort of floating in and out. So that was sort of the image I had as I edited them. So it's actually, they don't ever technically play at the same time too often. I think I cheated a little bit. But so tonight we have the bass flute, and we're sort of just going to do a live version of this song, The 2 Feathers, featuring SherryFinzer. We've got 2 more songs for you. You are amazing. There are cupcakes waiting for you, and tarot card readers, and lots of stories and people to meet. So that was all what's current right now. That's on the passenger. And what I want to do is I want to invite all of the string players back onto the stage because I want to take a peek into the future. Come on back. So this song is called Quantum Equivalence. Dallas String Quartet said, "Hey, we want to do something with you," and I took way longer than I should have to write this piece, but it was based on this phrase I heard, quantum equivalent. The idea being that in order to attract some future that you want, you have to be the quantum equivalent of its frequency, vibrating at that level, whatever that means to you, right? And maybe it rhymes with hammy, I don't know. So this piece came out, and it started with, I love the story of Beethoven's Furlies. It's like this whining, yearning for this woman, right? There's this yearning. And sometimes when we want something, we just sit there and yearn and whine about it until we get really clear on what it is. So it starts with this yearning, and then there's this clarity sort of coming together. Then there's action to take. Okay, cool, I'm clear on what I want. Now I gotta go do the thing to get the thing. And then the thing shows up, and there's this celebration. And so it's this journey of attracting what you want. So this is Quantum Equivalent with Dallas String Quartet, featuring guests Lili Haydn and Kate Dillingham. And this will be released next year.
Please tuck me in.
Yes, we did. We did that on purpose. to hang out if they want to for this next and last final song. That was a look to the future. I want to take one last quick look to the past because the past kind of dictates the future sometimes, especially if we're not conscious of it. So first off, I want to invite one more special guest to the stage to join me for a tiny bit of this. I'm so grateful. Keith Middleton. I mean, this guy is a New York staple percussionist. Hey Mom, remember the time you took me to see Stomp? That was Keith! So, he's gonna come on and join me for this. But this song is called Nothing to Change. I released it and then I unreleased it. But it was a song I got asked to write for the nonprofit organization Girls Inc. And they are really embodying empowering young women and young girls. And I wrote this in 2007, and it was like a quick turnaround. And so I called my favorite producer, Chris Griffin, who's here tonight. I would not be here without him. Chris, thank you for being part of my musical journey and teaching me everything I know about anything. And we produced this song, and I got to perform it live for this huge event in Lincoln Center. And I was going over the words recently, and they are just, I mean, it's 15 years ago I wrote this song, and I wrote it speaking to my 15-year-old self. So some of us would call that like musical inception therapy or something. But I thought it was really appropriate to sing it tonight. You'll hear why. You'll get it. I think you'll get it. Anyone that's got a big dream, that's gone through something to get to where you are, you'll get it. There's some angels getting their wings tonight. Oh my goodness. We're doing a whole thing. Keith Middleton, everybody. Yeah, I'm Cheryl. Cheryl. And everyone that's here while Keith's getting settled in, just thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting live music. Thank you for supporting me, your friends, your colleagues, your partners. Thank you. Also the cutting room. Yeah. I don't know when that's gonna come in, but I'm excited. We've never done this before. This is literally like an Instagram gig. I was like, hey, you wanna play this half a song with me? And he was like, yes.
Don't speak English, don't speak English.
I don't know what's gonna happen, it's gonna be great. Oh, I'm gonna sing on this. Are y'all okay with that? It's been like, thank you. Just wait until you hear me sing. No, it's funny because this record, The Passenger, is the only record. This is my 7th record. It's the only one that there's no. I use my voice as an instrument on every other record I've ever done, and an acoustic piano. There's neither. So it's all sorts of funny. Okay, universe, I see you being all funny. You say when up there.
You're good.
Okay, we're good. All right. This is called Nothing to Change. I step onto the sidewalk past a lady with a dog. I pardon my way by her, wonder if she's got the foggiest idea. We're both the same. You're walking through the schoolyard, got your books under your arm. You were thinking about skipping class, but flunking out has lost its charm. You put your best foot forward, step on a cloud. You knew you could fly, had to figure out how. The wisdom of the world is ours to hold and share with each other as we break the mold. If I could tell my younger self there's nothing I should change, that I catch my dreams and fall in love and fall flat on my face, that all I need's a small idea of who I wanna be, that's standing up for the underdog, is living powerfully. You drink your morning coffee, today is the big day. You dressed up well, gonna give 'em hell. Don't need anyone else's praise, unless it comes in the the form of a Grammy, in which case I'll take it. Your confidence is magic and makes me believe that anything is possible with nothing up your sleeve. You put your best foot forward, step on a cloud. You knew you could fly, had to figure out how. The wisdom of the world is ours to hold and share with each other as we break the mold. If I could tell my younger self there's nothing I should change, that I catch my dreams and fall in love and fall flat on my face. And all I need is a small idea of who I want to be. That standing up for the underdog is living powerfully. How do you do? How do you give? What do you love? How do you live? You put your best foot forward, step on a cloud. You knew you could fly, had to figure out how. The wisdom of the world is ours to hold and share with each other as we break the mold. If I could tell my younger self there's nothing I should change, that I'd catch my dreams and fall in love and fall flat on my face. And all I need is a small idea of who I want to be. That's standing up for the underdog